Hey, today I want to show you some gear I used to record with and make my music with. And we'll start with the most important part, the guitar. This is a Jazzmaster, or I think it's a US 62 reissue, and it's from 2006, Ocean Turquoise. It's all stock. I haven't changed a thing on it, and I got some Elixir 10 to 52 strings on it, tuned to, it's like an open G, but the high E is still at E, so it'd be E, B, G, D, and let's see, G, D, I believe. And so let's take a look from where the guitar goes, down to the cable, down into the pedals. Okay, so here we are. And here is the guitar cable going into the first part of the pedals. The pedals are here. And then we run out of the delay into the amp. See, I have two amps. I have that I'm using currently. This is the Bajera, I think it's a V55 HD, which stands for head. And that's the Fender kind of clone type amp. Going over here is the Bajera 1960, which is a Marshall clone. Going into, this is the Jet City ISO cab. Let's take a look inside. See, inside we have, that is warehouse guitar speakers. I think it's the ET65, and that's my mic. Don't mind all the cables hanging, but that's micing it up, going out to a preamp into my interface. So the nice cotton isolation. I'll shut that back up. Boy, I think it's bright. See if I can do it one-handed. Alright, no sound getting out of there. So that's basically it. Now let's go through the pedals individually. Let's go to clean. The first thing I plug into is this wah-wah. Let me pull it back a little bit. Well, before I get to that, let me talk about this pedal board for a minute. This is a clarinet case that I cut open and added some holes, and I really need to replace it because it's not very practical and the cables are everywhere, but I don't play out live, so this is just a studio rig, so it hasn't been that much problems, but it just doesn't look all that great. I'm going to update this eventually. These will be looking a lot prettier, but I like the nice velvet. Okay, wah-wah. But it's just I had the Crybaby, but I found this one to have a more pronounced wah sound. I like the this compressor for clean stuff to keep the dynamics down so I don't clip. I don't know how it's set out. Usually I set them where the knobs are kind of like looking at each other. There. I'm wahing with the wrong foot, so I got mother foot by the camera. Anyhow, I mainly use the wah with the pig nose. I don't do it so much with my big rig. Turn that off. I can never get this thing off with my foot. And from there we go into the Build Your Own Clone Tribe Booster. I call it the Master Booster. It has the character from, let's see, that is Ralphus from the Bloodsucking Freaks movie. Yeah, how's it going, Ralphus? It's a killer beard you got there. Nice fro. Anyhow, that is a very good booster. It has 3 boosts. It has a linear power boost, a germanium boost, and I think a MOSFET boost. But it just makes everything sound better. And if you're running low gain pedals, you can click that thing on for solos and just beef everything up, make it sound great. Oh, it's on germanium. this combine. I usually combine the germanium with the distortion box to make it sound more like a fuzz. It gives it that kind of fuzz box germanium bite. See, without it, see, it just sounds like a regular distortion pedal. Click on that germanium. It's nice and throaty. So that's a good way to get like a pretty cool sounding tone. Then you have just gonna clip a little bit. The blue light is like your linear power boost. It's the cleanest one. And when you click it to the MOSFET green, where's it at? Oh, wrong way. This boost is a little bit brighter and has a little bit of dirt to it. Whoop. But I use, let's see, you can boost it. If I can reach. Okay. But I love this pedal. It's probably my favorite pedal, this booster. The other mode, get back to the clean. Well, actually, we'll do that first. I didn't even discuss my main distortion box. This is just my plain everyday distortion. It's a Behringer, the GDI-21. It's basically a clone of the Tech 21 Sans amp, I believe, and it's got different modes in it. But I mainly use, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. The California sound. You have three different modes. You get the California, the Brit. The Brit has more like mids. It's not as full sounding to me, so I use it. And I don't ever use the tweed. I guess it's more of an overdrive like Fender sound. But go back to California. And besides that, you have your different gains. I use it on the clean. Wait. It has clean, high gain, and high. Hot's a little too fuzzy for me. Got too much sizzle. So I leave it on the high gain, I believe. Or do I leave them clean? That's where I leave it clean. And besides that, you have your emulated mic placements. And this is off. Center cone. And your classic, which I think is more of an off-axis, farther away sound. They're probably more meant for plugging into like a PA system or like right into the board. My my iTunes. But I'll leave it on center. It's a little more focused sounding compared to off. And then you just got your ground lift. But then you have your drive. I have it about 75%. Treble's almost all the way up. And backed off a little bit. Turn treble up. And then you get your bass. Again, it's almost all the way up on me. Level, 75%. This is the same sound I pretty much get with my old main stomp box. Ooh, let me zoom out. This guy here. I love the sound of this, but I want to try something different, and they sound pretty similar. I go for the similar sound, but like pretty cheap. $30 pedals. I think both of these are $30 a piece. But classic DS1. So basically, on my board, I go, wah, some kind of compressor, a booster, a regular overdrive, a fuzz, an EQ, and then over here I have a delay. I don't use an overdrive pedal very much. I usually just have my distortion and then my booster for the solos, but I always have a fuzz on my board, and I change them out pretty regularly. And this is the fuzz I'm using now. Now this is a pedal I got from Gnome. He built it. It's a Great Destroyer clone, which is just a nasty fuzz. Turn this off. But I use this one for overdubbing on my rhythms and stuff. It's pretty crazy. That's it by itself. It oscillates and does all kinds of crazy stuff. Can't read the knobs. I think you have This is your star knob. It takes the voltage down. Basically, I leave them all pretty full. That's the big volume knob over there. But I usually put a booster behind it. So then when you palm, you get all this this Velcro fuzzy sounds. But just this wall of sound fuzz stuff coming out of it. Without the booster, I don't really care for it. Geranium time. But it's just a nasty fuzz. Now with the booster, I'll turn it off. I've never had any kind of sustain problems with the Jazzmaster, because usually that's the complaint people have with the Jazzmasters. It doesn't sustain enough. But with the compressor, but mainly with this booster, I have a lot of sustain. I never had any problems. Turn delay off. Then we have an EQ, which I haven't been using as much, but except for mid boosts and stuff like that, just to mess with the distortion sound more. Like if you want more clarity or something with your distortions, you can just mess around with stuff. That's pretty good. You just scoop all your mids out. Let's get some more highs. This is for just tone modification on distortion for me, basically. And then I just have a little DE7 set on delay mode. I used to play a lot more delay on my guitar, but since I record so much, I use the built-in, plugins for recording because they're stereo, and this is just mono, and I'm never that good at setting delay times, so I mainly just use it for repeats on solos, and rather leave the time-based delays for the computer to figure out. Oh, mess that up anyhow. And we'll look at my settings on the amp, because that's basically my pedals. I'll go through all my pedals one day, but for now this is what I'm using to record with the FatPonyGnome record. Okay, basically you have your power switch, standby, that really blue light. Actually, when it's dark in here, this will light up like the back wall. It's pretty crazy. And then I have presence, which I keep on. Looks like it's on 9, treble on 9, mids on like 8, bass on 9. I pretty much just turn everything to the left or to the right. Just and volume. My two volumes are really low. I found that there's no reason to have a 100-watt amp in your bedroom at all. It's just ridiculous. So it's not even. They're not. Volume 2. That's the bass channel. It's on 1, and volume 1 isn't even on 1, and it's loud. This is the sound with the cab closed up. And let me open it up. Close it back up. Then you lock it down. It's so okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the studio tour. Keep rocking.